Breaking news. Breaking news. The MAGA panic is real. They're calling it an economic earthquake. MAGA and corporate boardrooms across America are losing their freaking minds because African Americans are canceling Christmas because they finally awakened to the undeniable spending power of their collective dollar.
These folks are big mad, and I am loving every second of it. They rolled out Black Friday deals like usual, expecting us to stampede through their doors for discounts on stuff we don't need. And we said, nah, we good. Now they're scrambling, putting black families in their commercials, hanging up some African print wrapping paper, thinking that is going to cut it. Brother, please. You can't slap some kente cloth on capitalism and call it solidarity. We've been making you rich while our community stayed broke. And now that we're spending strategically supporting our businesses, building our wealth, suddenly it is a national crisis. MAGA crying about the war on Christmas when really it is just us finally understanding economic warfare. We're not bitter, we're better, smarter, and watching y'all panic because you actually have to earn our dollars now instead of just expecting them. Man, that is the entertainment we needed this holiday season. Keep the crocodile tears coming. We're too busy building to care.
Oh, so now y'all got black Santas in the window? Now you want to put some melanin on the shelves after ignoring us for decades? Please, we see right through it. You think slapping a black Santa ornament next to the same products made in sweatshops is going to make us forget that our dollars have been propping up your CEO's third vacation homes while our neighborhoods got food deserts? Nah, we're done being performative props for your profit margins. This Christmas, our money is going to Keisha's boutique, Kwame's bookstore, and Tanya's bakery. People who've been here who invest back into us. You can keep your panic, bought diversity decorations. We're building generational wealth now. And no amount of last minute inclusivity is going to guilt us back into funding our own economic invisibility. Good luck with those quarterly earnings, though.
They really thought a black nativity scene was going to do it, huh? Like we're that easy. MAGA out here having meltdowns because we finally figured out that our collective $1 trillion spending power means something, and corporations scrambling to rebrand like we don't have memories. Where was all this celebration of black culture when we were asking for fair wages, better housing, community investment? Crickets. But now that we're taking our coins elsewhere, now it is an emergency. It is almost funny if it wasn't so predictable. We're not canceling Christmas out of spite. We're reclaiming it. We're spending intentionally, investing in our own, and watching the same system that dismissed us suddenly realize they need us more than we need them. And honestly, watching them squirm is the best Christmas gift we could ask for.
Breaking news. They're terrified, and they should be. Panic is erupting in corporate America, and MAGA is losing its mind. African Americans are canceling Christmas and major holidays, and the economic shockwaves are already hitting. We're not bitter, we're awake. We've finally grasped the staggering power of our $2 trillion spending power. And this year, we're wielding it like never before. Our money is flooding into black-owned businesses, while the big corporations that built empires off our loyalty are watching their revenue projections collapse in real time. Boardrooms are in crisis mode. Conservative pundits are spiraling. The establishment didn't see this coming, but they're feeling it now. Hard. We're not asking for permission anymore. We're not waiting for change. We're creating it, one intentional purchase at a time. And the system that ignored us for decades is suddenly scrambling to win us back. Too late. The power has shifted, and we're just getting started. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe because we're bringing you the content the mainstream media is too terrified to touch. Every view, every like, every comment, every share pushes our message further into the algorithm and closer to the people who need to hear it. Now, let's get into this because what we're about to discuss is nothing short of revolutionary. MAGA and big corporations are in full panic mode. And here is why. Black Americans are waking up. We're taking back our power. We're canceling Christmas and all major holidays, not out of spite, but because we deserve better. We deserve respect for our massive contribution to this economy. These corporations are canceling DEI programs, refusing to hire Black Americans, laying off Black women in droves, and erasing our culture like we don't matter. But here is what they forgot. We hold the power. Our almost $2 trillion in spending power is the leverage we've always had, and now we're finally using it. We're not asking for respect anymore. We're demanding it. We're not begging for dignity. We're taking it back, and we're doing it with the one language they actually understand, our dollars. So let's get into this, because this movement, this is revolutionary, and we're just getting started. Let's talk about power. Real power, the kind of power that built movements, changed laws, and transformed America. I am talking about Black economic power, and it is time we recognize just how much strength we hold in our hands. Black buying power in America is approaching $2 trillion. Let me say that again. It is approaching $2 trillion. That is not just a statistic. That is the freaking GDP of entire nations. Black consumer spending is projected to reach $1.98 trillion by 2025, and some estimates suggest it could hit $3 trillion by 2030. We represent 13.4% of the U.S. population, but our economic influence extends far beyond those numbers. Black consumer spending has grown at a rate of 5% per year, faster than the overall U.S. consumer spending growth of 3%. We're not just participating in the economy, we're driving it forward. Now, let's talk about Christmas. The holiday season is the single most important economic period of the year. Nearly 30% of all consumer spending occurs during the holiday period. Americans are expected to spend over $960 billion this holiday season. Think about our share of that. Think about what happens when nearly $2 trillion in buying power decides to spend or decides to spend nothing at all. What if we, as a community, chose to redirect even a fraction of our holiday spending? What if we spent those dollars intentionally, strategically, powerfully? The impact would be immediate and undeniable. This isn't theoretical. We've done this before. In 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus, and what followed wasn't just a moral stance. It was an economic earthquake. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted 381 days. African American citizens made up 3/4 of regular bus riders, and the boycott cost the city of Montgomery $3,000 every day. The bus company needed the dollars from Black ticket purchases, so they had no choice but to pressure the city to reform the law. Our ancestors didn't just march, they withdrew their dollars. And it worked. Black organizers aimed to inflict maximal disruption on the white power structure, particularly economic elites. As Dr. King later said, the political power structure listens to the economic power structure. We've heard it said time and time again, your vote is your voice. And that is true. The Black vote has decided elections, shaped policies, and changed the direction of this nation. But here is what we need to understand. Your dollar is also your vote. Every single day, with every purchase, you are casting a ballot. You are voting for which businesses succeed, which communities thrive, and which values get rewarded. The difference, you vote once a year, maybe twice, but you vote with your dollars multiple times a day. That is power multiplied. That is influence amplified. So this Christmas season, I am asking you to think about your economic vote, not to be divisive, not to hurt anyone, but to be intentional, to be strategic, to recognize the power you hold. 67% of Black Americans are likely to seek out new brands if businesses fail to align with causes they care about. We're not asking anyone to change how much they spend. We're asking you to think about where you spend it. Support Black-owned businesses. Support companies that invest in our communities. Support brands that see us, value us, and fight for us. Because when we pool our economic power, when we move together, we don't just make noise, we move mountains. $2 trillion, let that sink in. That is not just shopping money. That is revolution money. That is our collective spending power. And it is not just money. It is a weapon of mass construction. That is the kind of power that builds schools, funds businesses, creates generational wealth, and forces entire systems to bend to our will. Every dollar we redirect is a vote. Every Black-owned business we support is a statement. Every holiday we reclaim is a declaration of independence. We're not just consumers anymore. We're architects of our own economic destiny. They thought they could take us for granted forever. They were wrong. We are awake now. We are organized, and we are just getting started. MAGA can panic. Corporations can scramble. The establishment can try to lure us back with their performative gestures. But we see the game now, and we are playing by our rules. The question isn't whether we have power. The question is, what are we going to do with it?